Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a system for collectibles such as coins or points or whatever. We'll make a little points text up here where it tells you how many you have, and I'll also make them so you can collect them. So I think the best thing to start with would be a point thing itself. Whatever you want to make it, like whether it's a diamond, a coin. We'll use a sphere. We'll call it a point. Want to reset its transform. We can make it look however we want to, so we'll create a material for it. I'll just make it like, I don't know, blue. And I'll make it like partially transparent. Let's see how that looks. Oh, you have to use the transparent shader. Where is it? Is it under this? Yeah. Maybe not. I think they reorganized those. Whatever. Oh no, it's right here. I knew it was close by. So we can make it like that, for example. I want to size it down personally, so we'll do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That will work. I'm just gonna line a few up next to each other. First, I want to create a point selection or collection system. Let's add a tag. We'll use tags this time. Point. We can just call it point. And we'll add that in now. All this stuff is fine. We'll set it as a trigger. It shouldn't drop or anything. So we'll just duplicate. I use Control D to duplicate it. We'll just pull a few out at random. Put a couple in a random spot. Perfect. And then we'll make a script. Point collection. Make sure it's one word or else it won't work. And we can drop it on our player. Assuming, in order for this to work, the player must have the collider on him, and it seems we do. Capsule collider, so that will be fine. What did I name it? Point collection. Drop it on him. Cool. No, I don't care. Anyway, get rid of all of that. You don't want any of that running in the background. It's not needed. We will be using UI in a minute. We're building this together. I haven't done this yet, so using Unity Engine.ui. Make sure you include that. You will need it. Now we can do void on trigger enter. Well, perfect. It filled it in for me. Collider other. Other is fine. If other dot tag equals point destroy other dot game object Make sure to put that outside. Points plus plus. Now we have to go back here, and I did not say private, did I? It did that for me. We don't need that. Here we're gonna make an integer, so public int points. Unless you change it in the Unity editor, it should by default be 0, but we can still do equals 0 here. And we know it'll start at 0 now, unless you change it in the Unity editor. So the points will go up, and we want to display the points, so before we do anything else, let's go back in Unity. You want to go under the camera. Where's the camera at? It's on the player, main camera. And we'll create UI. We can just go under UI and text, and it'll create the things we need for it automatically. So text, we might want to rename this to collected points, just to make it easy to differentiate from other things. Now we have our canvas. We want to make it scale with screen size. That'll make it really easy on us later on if we decide to add more. X would be across and Y would be up and down in screen space. So we want to do, in this case, we'll set it to, 16 by 9 would be good enough. So 1920 by 1080, which is just like 16 by 9, but it'll pretend that this whole screen space is 1920 by 1080p when you're setting it up. So even though this technically isn't right now, it'll scale with it anyway. It won't matter. Now we need to find our text. We want it to be, I want it to be in the upper left corner. This is the anchor point. So if we select the upper left corner, this is 0, 0, and you would subtract from here to move it down. It automatically adjusted these values. If you set it to the top middle, it won't pull it to the left. If you pull out the left side for whatever reason, it'll only go up and down. If you select the middle, I'm not completely sure. I'm pretty sure wherever you put it at, though, it doesn't move. So it's literally just anchored to whatever. So we want to anchor it to the upper left corner. Let's set our font size real quick. Let's make an example. So points, all uppercase. I don't know, we can make it go to 1,000. We want to scale this up. You're going to need to change the size, or you can do horizontal overflow, vertical overflow, truncate, or overflow, either one. And you can just scale it up. You don't even have to worry about it. Make sure this is set to top, left, right. You can align it left, middle, right, top, middle, bottom. We want it in the top left corner. We can move the scale. So I'm thinking like 80. Let's make it bold so it's easier to see. And then we'll set this to, I don't know, 150, 100, 100 will work, 100, and it is off the screen because you want to do negative 100, negative 20. Negative 20 will work. We can change the color of the text here, so we can go blacker if we want to. I'm gonna do black so it contrasts other things in this scene. It's pretty colorful. After that, we can tag this to make it easier to find. So we'll tag it as points text. Right, this will be important, you'll see why. Cool. Now we can go back in here. Public game object. I'm going to spell it differently on purpose. I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to do points txt. And now we need void start back. Not private. We don't need it to be private. Right. So points text equals game object dot find with tag. Whoops. Game object dot find with tag points text. It needs to be spelled exactly the same. So let's go back in the scene, make sure we did it right. Points text, okay, we're fine. And here's where the Unity Engine.ui comes into place. And actually, yeah, you don't need to make two of these, but we're gonna do it. Points letters equals points text. You know what, we're not gonna do that. I usually don't, it's never worked for me, I don't know why. But here, we are gonna need void update back. And I did not ask it to autocomplete. What you do, you type in points text with txt, not as in the tag. Since we named the tag slightly differently, we want to do it the game object. Points text dot get component in, we don't need to get it in children, get component text. Now this is the part that would not work if you didn't include UI up here. As you see, it just came on, like it just highlighted versus being darkened out. I'll show you. It'll go back away. See? This is where it's needed. Dot text equals, we can do points plus points. If you want to put a space in there, you can put a space in there, capitalize, so it's gonna write out this text and then add in the variable points as text on the screen. Now let's make sure this works. It should by default say 0. See, we have it set to 1000, it should change to 0 when we start. Cool, so it's working. Is this part working? Yep. I don't know why my mouse is not sensitive today. But as you can see, we added in points. And that's about all there is to it. If you want to do other things like unlockables, I could show you how to access other scripts, but that would be a whole nother tutorial really. So that's it. That's your point system. I will put this script in, I'll put it in, there's a website, I'll link it. It'll be pretty obvious in my description. Thank you for watching, subscribe,